Hey everyone! In the last video, I briefly talked about the recently announced chemistry reaction between Otoya and NEL Bachira. And honestly, ever since that reveal, I've been thinking a lot about how the devs might implement it. So today I want to fully dive into this topic and explore everything, from what their animations and cutscene might look like, to their in-game moves, and most importantly, how the devs could make this chemistry reaction work. Even though, technically, neither of them has a move that directly supports a teammate. This is very different from the first chemistry reaction we ever got, Sei and Shidu, where we had a clear synergy, perfect pass from Sei into Shidu's strike. But with Otoya and NEL Bachira, it's a bit more complicated. So let's jump into the concept I've been thinking about. As most of you already know, this chemistry reaction is inspired by the manga, where Bachira, and playing for FC Barça, used his teammates to score a goal. And yes, the key moment here is when he used Otoya specifically to set up his B shot. Now here's the thing, neither Otoya nor NEL Bachira currently have any skills that allow them to pass to each other in a clean, assist-type way. So how can this chemistry reaction even happen? Well, I've been thinking, and I believe there are a few ways the devs could make this work. Let's talk about the first possibility. Possibility 1. Awakening activation. One way this chemistry could activate is if NEL Bachira is in Awakening mode. Remember, NEL Bachira has his B shot as an Awakening move, and that's exactly the move he used in the manga during the Otoya setup. So it would make a lot of sense if the chemistry could only trigger when he's awakened. Or, and I think this is even more logical, maybe Otoya has to be the one in Awakening mode. Imagine this. Otoya presses his B skill while awakened, and instead of it being a normal dribble or strike, it transforms into a special pass animation that goes straight to NEL Bachira, who then fires off a B shot, even if he isn't in Awakening himself. That would actually feel really balanced. It would make the reaction something rare and powerful, not something you could just spam every round. And most importantly, it stays true to the source material. Another possibility, and this might be the easiest to implement, is that when Otoya and NEL Bachira are placed on the same team, both players get a new skill option in their skill bar. Like, for example, Otoya could get a new B move called Freestyle Pass, and NEL Bachira's existing B move would stay as B shot. When both players are in position, using Freestyle Pass automatically triggers a chemistry animation where NEL Bachira finishes the play with B shot. This would be similar to how Sei's perfect pass works with Shidu, and I think that would be a really clean and fun way to implement it without needing either character to be awakened. And now, let's talk about something that I think a lot of people are hoping for. A full rework of Otoya. Let's be honest, almost no one is using Otoya right now. In the epic tier, Corona is considered one of the best and most versatile styles. Meanwhile, Otoya, he's kind of fallen behind. So if this chemistry reaction is coming, and if the devs really want people to play him again, then he needs a rework. Personally, here's what I would change. I would buff the speed and distance of Otoya's Stealthy Steps move. I'd also make the dribble last slightly longer, and reduce the cooldowns on both his main skills. Right now, they're just way too long. Also, let's talk about his Awakening move. It's super powerful, no doubt, but it forces you to look at the ground just to aim properly. That being said, I actually love how it feels. The impact, the sound design, it's all awesome. I just think his kit needs a few small tweaks to make him feel smoother and more viable against other epics like Corona. Because right now, if Corona goes up against Otoya and both players have equal skill, Corona wins. Every time. His steal completely counters all of Otoya's moves. But before we go even further, if you enjoy videos like this where I break things down, discuss updates, and share ideas, please consider subscribing to the channel. It seriously helps a lot with the algorithm, and it shows the devs that our feedback matters. Who knows? Maybe if enough people comment their ideas, the devs will actually take notice. I'm aiming for 10,000 subscribers before the end of May, and with your help, I really believe we can hit that goal. Now let's move on to what I think is the most important part of the video, your opinion. What do you think should be added in the May 3rd update? Should the Otoya x NEL Bachira chemistry be tied only to Awakening? Should Otoya get a full rework and be made more useful in general, not just as a chemistry activator? Or should they simply add a unique chemistry ability that works when they're paired together? As for me, I think just buffing Otoya's kit slightly would already make him a more popular choice for newer players. A full rework would be even better, of course. Since we're already on the topic of chemistry reactions, let's quickly talk about some potential ones we might see in the future. I personally think the next one could be Rio and Nagi. But first, they'd have to add NEL Nagi, who actually came in second place in the most recent poll, asking which new style players want next. After that, they'd probably need to buff or rework Rio, because right now, let's be real, he's one of the weakest styles in the entire game. Here's what I'd suggest for Rio. Instead of a full rework, they could just buff him slightly. One cool idea is to allow Rio to copy world-class moves, but with reduced effectiveness. So, for example, if he copies Don Lorenzo's zombie dribble, it would only travel half the distance. If he copies Perfect Pass, it has a 40% chance to go off target. If he copies Kaiser Impact, it only goes halfway down the field, or does less damage, maybe something like Kunigami's Power Shot. But regular skills that aren't tied to physical traits, like Zombie Dash, Heel Flick, or Beautiful Shot, those can be copied without penalty. Also, I think Rio's Awakening animation needs a major upgrade. Give him that purple aura, just like in the manga. And when he copies a special move, the visuals should reflect that too. Like when he copies Aiku's red snake, Rio's version could be a purple grid-like snake, just like his aura in the manga. I think if they do this, Rio could easily become one of the most popular styles again. Just like he used to be, but before world classes took over the meta. And since we're already talking about chemistry reactions, I thought I'd share a few more duos that I'd absolutely love to see added to the game in future updates. Let's start with a fan favorite combo, Rio and NEL Nagi. Their bond is one of the strongest in the entire series. And I think everyone's just waiting for the day when NEL Nagi gets released and they finally get a proper team-up move. It would be amazing to see them recreate one of those flashy plays they did back in the U20 arc. Maybe Rio could set up a pass from midfield, and Nagi could finish it off with a god-tier trap into an insane volley. That would be such a hype animation. Then there's Kaiser and NEL Isagi. This one would be really cool because they had that one moment in the manga where they actually worked together, not as rivals, but as allies, to stop Rin from scoring. Next, I'd love to see a chemistry between Kurona and NEL Isagi. These two are basically inseparable in the current storyline. They've got perfect passing flow, crazy positioning, and their chemistry has literally evolved Isagi's entire playstyle. Another dream pairing is Barreau and Don Lorenzo. Both of these guys are absolute powerhouses. One's the king of the field, and the other is a monstrous defender. But remember that moment in the NEL arc when they actually synced up for a play? And finally, Kaiser and Ness. Yeah, I know Ness isn't in the game yet, but when he eventually arrives, this chemistry is mandatory. Like, it's literally their whole dynamic. Ness lives to support Kaiser. If you enjoyed the ideas in today's video, please make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below about what you'd like to see added next, and of course, don't forget to subscribe if you watched all the way through. If you made it to the end of the video, that means you actually found it interesting. And if that's the case, why not support the channel? I upload daily videos with leaks, dev insights, sneak peeks, and all the latest info from the official Discord server. Thanks again for watching, good luck with your summons, and I'll see you in the next one, where I'll be sharing the latest codes as soon as they drop.